ballot this year that's pertaining to students that we need to know about, like voting wise?
It's more of a general thing that there's probably some kind of a tuition, something or other, but it's not even so much that it's one item, it's that you vote.
Well, I know that. I just know that there's been specific things
There have been.
that we need to
There have been.
And
I've been pleasantly surprised by the community okaying things like the Science Center and the health careers. I've been pleasantly surprised by that. I've also been like amazed that they okayed the dorm. Like that blew my mind. Like that Ben would be like, yeah, let's go ahead and put 300 kids in a dorm. Like, okay. But I don't know about this ballot. Not that I know of. But the important thing is that whatever is on the ballot, like for example, suppose there's nothing related to education on the ballot, but they're going to take 1.5% of your income and devote it for something completely unrelated to education. The implication of that is that means that money definitely will not go to education. So as a student bloc, you can help vote that down. That doesn't guarantee you'll get the money, but it guarantees that you won't not get the money, if that makes sense. So you're preventing it from going somewhere else. At least that frees it up possibly to come back to you in some other form when they set the budget. The only way to be present for these decisions is to be in the room, so to speak. And in the room for you guys is voting. Or being in the budget making process, which you have to be a politician. I mean, I don't wish that on anybody. So. Cool? Enough talking about this. It's giving me hives. Yeah.
Teach Math 111.
Not anymore. They took it away from me.
Aww.
I don't have time. 105 and 243 and 244 have so many sections that I can't get spread to other classes. So people ask me about 245 and 111, and I wish I could. I love all those courses, 112. But there's there's just not enough classes in my contract. But again, how are the quizzes? I haven't gone on the Blackboard to look at them yet. There were only 3. They were pretty scattered. We had a terms quiz. How many did all 3 of them? Anybody do all 3? A couple of you did. Yeah, a couple of you did all 3. Awesome. So you're like almost halfway done being done. Speaking of being done, after this class, 20% over. Your term is 20% over. Think about it though. Think about that. Every class you're in here is 5% of 243.
You did call the one terms, and then when you went to put it on the post-it, you called it vocabulary.
Oh, I did?
Definitions.
Oh.
It wasn't that big of a deal. It means
You figured it out though, right? Anybody not do any of them? And that's totally fine, isn't it? That's totally fine, isn't it? Because there's going to be a buttload more. I think I posted 3 yesterday for next week. I think I posted 3. I'm pretty sure. Does anybody check for next week?
No. Project's due next week, though.
There's a project due next week, and this is, it's okay. Now, you might, who's gotten a chance to look at the project? Just crack it open and look at it so far? Good. There's not a lot of math. It's pretty long, it's a pretty long document. There's not a lot of math in it. Very precious little math, actually. The important thing is understanding what the project is getting at, which is understanding basics of probability. That's really what it is. And we mentioned a couple of those today, just talking about the voting block and proportionate representation and things like that. So that's what that project is. So the 3 quizzes for next week, you might not want to do all 3 if you also have a project due. This might be the week where you're like, you know what, I'm taking a hall pass on these. I'm just going to let these go and grab them next week, week after. Maybe do 1 and, like I said, take a hall pass. I brought an in-class quiz for us to do. I don't think we'll get to it today. We'll definitely get to it on Tuesday of next week. That'll also count against your 10. So when you open up the schedule, I guess what I'm telling you this for is when you crack open the schedule page next week and you see project due, quiz, do the project for sure, but if you let the quizzes go, it's not going to bury you numerically. Linda, go ahead, get a question, I'm sorry.
You don't mind multiple pages being scanned in?
Try to make it minimally. See, the idea is you could probably fit that entire project on 1 piece of paper. Don't scan the whole document and resubmit the document to me. That's what I'm like, Jesus. So, yeah, but the work is just a fraction. Like, for example, I give you the answers. If you've cracked it open, you've seen, I give you answers on some of them. Like, one of them's like 0.29. Show me the fraction that you used to get 0.29. So it might just be like, it's just like 1 over 3 equals 0.29. It doesn't, but you know, you see what I'm getting at. So you don't have, it's not like you're going to be like doing like 3.5 paragraphs of math to get that 0.29. This is in calculus class. So you could probably fit it on 1 page, I'm guessing. It might take 2, that's fine too. But please don't do this. Don't print the whole thing and then write your answers here and then submit this. Just do it on a piece of paper. Just do it on a piece of paper or do the type, you can do the type submission.
Or you can do it on Word, right?
Or do it on Word, yeah. That's why I redid the assessment guidelines. Once I realized how much of a headache that would be if we started scanning in, for you guys especially. What if you try to do a multi-page scan and only 1 goes through? Then you're like, well crap, I scanned on the cover page, great. He wrote that, he knows what else was on that, right? So just do it on a piece of paper, a Word, you can do it on a handwritten piece of paper.
Or a recycled piece of paper.
Or a recycled piece of paper and just scan that in.
Take a picture of it and save it as Word document and then send it into.
As long as you put it in a Word document, that's fine. Okay,
Yeah.
Katie's saying, take a picture of it, it becomes a JPEG.
I don't have a phone.
Put that, save it as a PDF.
Yeah.
It's all about the formats I've noticed with Blackboard. Blackboard doesn't like certain formats. It
Yeah.
loves formats like doc and .pdf. It loves those. It doesn't like the JPEG and the TIFF and the bitmaps and stuff like that.
That's discrimination.
So, yeah.
So I found, I was trying to do mine as Word where I was just typing, but then
Uh-huh.
I had one where you said show your work and it was awfully hard to show my work typing.
Well, that's where those other links will come in handy,
So,
where
yeah.
I teach you how to use LaTeX and we show you how to use a snipping
so I
tool.
just wrote on the paper.
That's
I
totally
printed
fine,
it
too.
out, And then I scanned it in and it was JPEG, so that's fine.
No, it can't be JPEG.
Oh no.
PDF. Save it as a PDF.
So I need to resubmit the stuff I resubmitted
Yes.
yesterday?
Yes.
Okay. So
Oh,
my
and did you already?
scanner-
Oh, Jesus.
my-
Let's talk at break. Let's talk at break. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk at break. Blackboard's beginning to be more of a pain in the ass than I think it needs to be. Yes.
Just for a question on showing your work.
Yes.
I did it in Docs, and
Oh.
so it's kind of hard to
Google
write it
Docs.
out. I explained it verbally.
That's fine. That's if you look at what the W means on the syllabus page, it says, you know, you can do it in your head as long as you write out what your head did. I'm not necessarily looking for like x plus 2 equals 9, minus 2 minus 2, therefore x equals 7. That's going to happen precious few times in this class. It happened in that one question, you know, but you can explain it verbally. Explain it as you would explain it if you were sitting next to somebody walking through the steps. Totally down with that. Totally down with that. Good. Good questions. Good questions. I understand Blackboard can be annoying. Totally get that. And we're working through that together. Just when in doubt, look at the assessment guidelines that I put on the assessment page. And that walks you through the formats that you can use. Yeah, Katie, go ahead.